everyone, welcome back to my channel. Okay guys, so on today's video I've been meaning to film this video. I thought it was a good idea to film it. I filmed the version in Spanish and it got a lot of views. I was pretty surprised with all the views I got. I know, of course, you know, maybe for YouTube terms, you know, over 8,000 views is not wow, but for my channel that's a lot, especially in the short period of time. So I wanted to make this video talking a little bit about how was my experience with my citizenship test to become an American citizen. So okay, I'm gonna start. I had my test on January 23rd. It was a Monday and I got there like rushing 5 minutes before the interview, the appointment that I had. So I brought my, you know, my interview letter, my appointment letter that you always have to show, after of course going through security. And then I went to a front desk with a really nice guy was there, and they kind of, you know, check you in and check your information. I think you check an ID, I showed him my driver license, and then I went to like a waiting room, you know, where everybody was waiting for the officer to call them to take the test. So I sat there for about, I'm gonna say 10 minutes at the most. It was pretty quick. And yeah, so about 10 minutes, and I think that they gave me like a number or like a letter or something. I don't know, I don't remember, it was a little while ago. But yeah, they gave me, like I said, I think it was like a number and a letter. So I waited there. So an officer showed up and he called me. Now I'm gonna say at first impression, when he first called me, he didn't seem the most friendly officer. I was like, oh my god, don't tell me I got, you know, there's always like maybe some officer that is like tougher than the others, you know, for the test. And I was like, I hope it's not him. I hope I didn't get him. Okay, so we went, you know, we went to his office. And first of all, he made me put, I had a bag full of papers, like, oh my gosh, full of paper. I had all my tax returns, everything full of papers. And he made me put that on a chair, and he made me raise my right hand, and he put me on oath. And you know, he told me that if I swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, and all that. Okay, so I sat down, and he first started with the civic test, which I'm gonna list the 6 questions that he asked me down below, okay, in the description box. So if you want to know exactly what he asked me, you know, go check that out. Like I said, but you know, of course, every test is different, and you have to study the 100 questions that you get on that book when you go and get your fingerprints taken. They give you a book with 100 questions that you have to study. And if you answer the first 6 questions right, that's it. They don't ask any more questions. If you fail, they can ask up to 10 questions. But from the 10 questions, you gotta have 6 correct in order to pass the test. So I answered, thankfully, I answered the six questions that he made me all okay. Everything was fine. So then he made me write a sentence which was super simple. I think it was like, who can vote? Or he made me read. Okay, he made me read a sentence that it says, who can vote? And then he made me write down, and it says, citizens can vote. That was it. That was the writing and the reading test. Super quick. And then after that, after the civic test, he went into reviewing the information about my N400 form. And this is when I got a little bit nervous. Now, I mean, I have nothing to hide. But I don't know, it's just a couple of things that he asked me. I was like, I can't believe you're asking me that. So, you know, so he basically started reviewing the information, you know, my name, my address, and he asked me where I lived before, you know, where I live now, and all that. And then what else did he ask me? I don't think he asked me anything about the times that I've been outside the country. He haven't asked me about that. He asked me a couple of questions of like the places that I listed, you know, like where I work, make money from and stuff. And what else? Okay, so at some point in the middle of the interview, what he did, and I was like not ready for that. When I had the interview, I was 28 weeks pregnant. So I was showing, you know, not like huge, but I was showing already. So, okay, so I mentioned, oh, because he asked me questions about my husband. And so at some point I mentioned that I was pregnant, that I was expecting my first child and all that. And he's like, do you have any proof for your pregnancy? Like any note from the doctor, any paperwork from the doctor? And I remember I was like, at first I was like, what? But you know, I just tried to play cool, and I said, let me check, you know, and I grabbed my papers for a second. I had like a folder with papers, and I said, I don't have anything. The funny thing is, the night before, when I was putting all my papers together, like everything in place, I thought for a moment, I said, should I bring some paperwork from the doctor? But I was like, no, they're not gonna ask me any proof, you know, that I'm pregnant. Like, it shows, you can see my belly. I mean, I think that's proof enough, right? So anyway, so he wanted to see some kind of proof that I was pregnant, and I wasn't expecting that at all. I mean, I thought, you know, if I tell them that, they were gonna believe me, or I really thought I wasn't even gonna need to tell him that I was pregnant. But anyway, so I didn't have any papers. All I had was my phone, which was in the car because they didn't let me come in with any electronic device. And I told him, I said, I do have my phone in the car, and you can call my doctor and ask him if you want to make sure. And he's like, oh, no, that's okay. But I would like to see some proof of pregnancy. And I said, I don't have anything, really. So I don't know, that really took me by surprise, caught me off guard. I just, like I said, I think I got nervous when he asked me that. And again, they know, of course, that's one advice that I'm gonna give you, is try to relax. Try to not get nervous. If they happen to come up with some question like that you don't expect, try your best to remain cool, because I think if they can tell you're nervous, it's even worse. They're kind of testing you somehow. I mean, I don't know, I felt the officer was kind of testing me to see if I was telling the truth, or if I had anything to hide, you know what I mean? And then once he realized that I was being honest, I mean, like, why would I fake a pregnancy, really? Like, I don't know, you know, this world is crazy, and maybe there's people out there that fake pregnancies, thinking that, I don't know, they're gonna pass the interview easier just because say, oh, I'm expecting an American son or daughter, like they're gonna make me pass. I don't know, anything is possible. I mean, I believe, you know, we live in a crazy world today, so there's people for everything, and maybe some people fake it. And so that's why, you know, he just wanted to make sure that I was being honest. And I almost felt like telling him, hey, you want to touch my belly? Like, so anyways. So, okay, so once he realized that I was honest and telling the truth, I think he kind of relaxed too. Like, I mean, and I don't know, I relaxed as well, you know, and the rest of the interview was much more smoother, and he was a nice guy. Like, he would ask me some questions and stuff. And then he went to the, you know, to the have you ever, like, been associated to the, I don't know, Nazi party, or like the Communist party, or anything like that. All those questions, he made all those. He made me all the questions, like, you know, are you able, or like, are you willing to serve in the military if needed, da 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 da, and all that. And that was it. And I think he said, congratulations. Like, I passed, and then he made me sign. I had to sign, you know, like the form, but it was like kind of like a tablet kind of thing. And I don't know what happened. So when I signed, the system went down or something. Something happened, and we kind of had to wait there. We lost about maybe 5-10 minutes or so trying to fix that. I don't know what happened. Oh, I think actually I signed, and my signature is terrible, okay? So I was like, oh my gosh, like my signature is terrible, like can I sign again? And he said, yeah, sure. And when he did that, that's when the system fell down. So we had to go to someone else's office, some other officer. She was a really nice woman, really nice lady, and I signed the form over there. So yeah, and that was it. And then he escorted me like to the way out, and he shook hands with me. At first, when I first saw him, like when he first called me, he didn't shake hands with me, and that kind of made me intimidated because I said, oh my god. But then when I left, when I was leaving after the test was done, he congratulated me again on the way out, and he shook hands with me. So I was like, ooh, okay, that was good. Yep, so that was it basically. And then a few days later I got, actually I checked online first saying that there was an oath ceremony scheduled for me. And then just a few more days after that I got the letter, the oath ceremony letter, which you have to bring when you have the ceremony, and that was it. That was it. I mean, again, I was nervous. The interview is not hard. I mean, my advice, like I said, is try to relax, study the 100 questions. Try to refresh your memory with the information that you put on the M400 form. Especially, like, he didn't ask me any questions about the times that I've been out of the country, but I hear sometimes, like, few officers, they ask that. Maybe they ask you, when was the last time you were outside the country, or stuff like that, or where do you go, and why do you go for, or stuff like that. But he didn't ask me anything about that. He asked me if I paid my taxes, and I said yes. He didn't ask me to see any of my tax paperwork, but I brought everything with me. I mean, my advice again is you don't know exactly what they're gonna ask you. Like when they sent me the letter, they told me to bring my husband's birth certificate to prove that he was a citizen, my marriage certificate, and when I went to the interview, and I was expecting him to ask me that, he actually didn't ask for it, but I had it there. You always have to have everything on the letter when they give you the oath ceremony letter. No, sorry, the interview letter. They tell you what paperwork, what things you have to bring, and they might not ask for it at the interview, but you're supposed to have it. I didn't want to go into that situation again. I wasn't expecting him to ask me any paper from the doctor. I didn't bring that with me. If you're pregnant, if you're a woman, you're pregnant, I would suggest, just in case, bring some paperwork, some proof that you're pregnant. I don't think it has to be like a note from the doctor saying you're pregnant, but at least, like, I don't know, from some lab work that you got done, or from some doctor fee, or like something like that. I don't know, anything that proves that you are, going to a doctor to control your pregnancy, you know what I mean, something like that. And yeah, so that's about it, guys. And then the interview was a few days later. The oath ceremony was a few days later, was on February 10th. In the morning, and it was pretty short. I was expecting it to be a little bit longer, but it was pretty short. We were a little bit over 50 people. I'm not gonna make a video about that. Unfortunately I couldn't film. My husband was supposed to film and he just messed it up. He thought he was filming and he wasn't, and so I didn't have any footage of it. But it was pretty simple. We did not have a message from President Trump welcoming us as citizens. With Obama, at least I know with him, they would always play you like a video on the screen, from the president welcoming you to the country, like welcoming you as a citizen, and talking about the responsibilities and the rights that you have as a citizen and all that. We didn't have that in this case. I don't know why. I have no idea. They talk about a video that they couldn't play for some reason, but I think it was some other video, not the president's video. It was some other kind of video that it just wasn't working, and so they couldn't play. And they gave us our certificates, of course. Before that, we did the oath of allegiance, and yeah, we were there, out of there pretty soon. I mean, I don't remember how long it lasted, but it wasn't a long interview. So, okay guys, well, thank you so much for watching. I decided to make this video because even though I know a lot of the people who follow me, you know, they speak Spanish, and there's a lot of Hispanic, you know, people in this country that are trying to become citizens, especially probably now with all the things going on. They are permanent residents and they just want to make sure, you know, that everything's gonna be okay, so they're trying to become citizens, and so that video was very popular. But again, not only people who speak Spanish come to this country and become citizens, so I thought it was a good idea to make this video in English as well. So if you don't speak Spanish and you're thinking of applying for citizenship, or you just send your papers and you have your interview soon or whatever, you know, you can have a better idea of what to expect. Also, another thing I want to mention is every state and every city is different. I sent my paperwork, my application back in June last year. I did have my fingerprints in July, and then I didn't hear anything till like the last week of December, and that's when I got the letter for the test, the interview. So, but there's other states, like every case is different too. In other states, other cities, they got it done in like 4 months. Also, they got everything done from when sending the papers to the interview. So it depends. In my case, it took a while. I was getting a little bit worried, but then I said, there's really not much I can do, you know. And when I was just like kind of forgetting about the whole thing, I went to the mail and I got my letter. So yeah, so you gotta be patient, you know. Again, your case might be done like sooner, or like mine, take a few months, or maybe even later. You never know exactly, but yeah. So okay, so if you guys have any questions about this whole process, please leave me a comment down below, and I will be more than glad to get back to you, okay? And so have an amazing week, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye!